OK, so new releases this week. If you don't want to see one of the top 10, here's some new ideas.
Brick. Let's start off with Brick because, interesting. A winner of the Sundance Special Jury Prize for Originality of Vision, and that sounds terrible because, winner of a prize for originality of vision, which basically you imagine in brackets not very well filmed, completely unwatchable, but hey, he tried very hard. Peculiar amalgam of hard-boiled sort of Chandler-esque crime fiction, knowing neo-noir pastiche, and sixth form collegiate angst. It's kind of like Dashiell Hammett goes to high school, or like a kind of playground version of Pulp Fiction. You remember Bugsy Malone?
Yes.
Right, well, it's nothing like Bugsy Malone. You remember the whole thing of Bugsy?
What's the point of saying that?
Because
then?
Bugsy Malone was kids, but it was gangsters, but it was kids, right?
But a playground version of Pulp Fiction I didn't understand a single word that you said until then.
Yes, you did. Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, neo-noir, hard-boiled. You know what all that means?
Raymond Chandler, yes.
OK, fine. So, incomprehensible plot, which takes a Chandler-esque narrative, twisty-turny private investigation. You know how that narrative works. But puts it effectively in a high school setting, starts off with our hero, nerdy, specky guy, trying to find out what happened to his ex-love who has disappeared. The movie comes replete in the press notes with a list of what many of its slang terms mean, and that always sort of, put you off. It says things like duck soup means easy pickings. Gat means gun, and it says it's duck soup for you yegs means it's easy picking for you. Think I'm going to get really, really cross with this. So the plot kind of unravels in this almost incomprehensible fashion. It's full of romantic intrigues and double crosses and gangs and drugs. It's a very peculiar mix because on the one hand you have this kind of this gangster narrative going on the other hand you have the fact that it's all happening in high school. So you get Lucas Haas. Remember him? It was I think the first time I ever saw him was as the kid in Witness. The kind of
that was him.
Yeah, that was him. And he plays this kind of gang lord, drug lord, terrifying figure.
He's moved on a bit then.
No, except for the fact that he lives in his mum's house. And whilst he's having these terribly threatening conversations, his mum keeps bringing milk and cookies. So it's all done in that way. It's odd because on the one hand you expect it to play itself for laughs, but it doesn't do that at all. It doesn't nudge you, it doesn't wink at you, it doesn't do any of the Bugsy Malone thing about isn't this weird. And very quickly you forget that what you're watching is effectively a kind of something that shouldn't go together. These two elements shouldn't go together. It should be completely contrived, but actually it works out rather well. It's the first-time writer-director, Ren Johnson, apparently made it for $500,000, and it's alleged that he edited it on a home computer, which this may be entirely true. It doesn't look like a homemade movie. The fact that it was in the Sundance Film Festival, obviously it's an independent production and, it's low end, but actually it looks pretty good. It's slick, it's well played, it's not toe-curling. It's not the masterpiece that some people think it is. I mean, people have gone a little bit overboard about it, but that's perhaps because when you consider its lowly background and how unappetising a gangster movie set in an American high school sounds, the fact that the result is as good as it is really pleasing. I mean, I really enjoyed it. There were several sections when I couldn't follow it, but it's intentionally like that. There is some genuine darkness around the edges, nice performances, and it's entertaining. It's a real surprise.